On this week in the Life and Times podcast, we got, my 6-year-old best friend Hudson, state champion wrestler. That's actually a very interesting story. You might want to check that out. He even talks about how he flips private parts off of Hornets. That's only 6-year-olds can tell you that story. And, my buddy Javi Luna, he's got a comedy special coming out. And I started talking to him the other day. He's like, hey, man, let's get on this podcast. And I said, sure. And he didn't know I was going to do it. And I think that went pretty good. So check out Javi Luna. Let's just get into the show and see what happens. Welcome back to the Lifetimes podcast. I'm your host, Lloyd Phillips. Layton, what's going on?
I'm just chilling.
Lloyd and Layton, and we're doing a podcast. So anyway, like last week, I was going to have 2 weeks. My best friend Hudson, the 6-year-old wrestler. I said he was going to be on here, and then he wasn't. Well,
6-year-old state champ.
Yeah, state champ. So he is. And anyway, let's just preface this. We're going to speak to Hudson. We're going to speak to my buddy Javi. He's got a new comedy special coming out, and we'll just dive right into it. So I don't know. Let me get Hudson on the line.
Hey, Lloyd.
Hey, is this my best friend?
Yep.
Yeah. What up, best friend? What have you been doing?
I'm making some Brussels sprouts for my dad.
You're making Brussels sprouts?
Yeah.
Did you grow them?
No.
Oh, well, I didn't know because
bought them from the store.
Oh, you got them from the store?
Yep.
Well, that's okay too. I grow my own Brussels sprouts. That's how I do it because they're the ones that I grow make you a lot stronger, and that's why my muscles look pretty big and I'm pretty strong. So
yeah, I'll take some of those.
Yeah, do you like those better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figured you did. It makes for better wrestling. So what have you been doing today? Anything?
No. We're only eating dinner.
Oh, it's dinner time. I'm glad I called right in time. So I got a question. It's winter time, so I know that you probably haven't found any, but do you have any hornets running around your house right now?
No.
None. I actually saw a Gigantopithecus hornet that I've been telling you about the other day. Remember that one that stung me and you took the stinger out that was the size of a stick?
Oh, yeah.
Some people even thought it was a stick, but it wasn't. It had to be a Gigantopithecus hornet. But I remember when it stung me and it didn't hurt. But do you remember the time that you got stung by the hornets at the soccer field?
Oh yeah.
Did that hurt?
A little bit.
A little bit. I mean, I probably would have just slapped it and be like, it's not even a big deal. But is that what you did?
Yep.
I figured. Yeah. Because not every kid is as tough as you are. And we all know that. And you know how I know that?
How?
Because you're a state champion wrestler.
Yeah, you are.
That's awesome. So do you remember that the other day?
Oh, yeah, like a year ago.
Well, it was about 2 weeks ago, but yeah. Seemed like a year ago, huh? You're already training for the next one, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you been working out already? Like working hard for next season? Trying to win another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been that's fun.
What have you been doing?
I have one more tournament.
Oh, you do? What's that?
Yeah, I have one more tournament.
What's that tournament?
It's the state WA, but I wrestled at state USA.
Oh, so you won.
Open.
So you won state USA Open?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. So what's the next one?
No, novice. It's novice.
Novice. Okay. So what do you?
Now I'm playing open.
Oh, wow. Are you excited for it?
Yeah.
Have you been doing push-ups or anything?
No.
Oh man. Have you been?
Oh, do you know about Bo Fisher?
Bo Fisher?
Yeah, you should type, and he's from Salina. Type him up, and you can probably see the picture of him.
Yeah, I know who he is. He secretly wants to go to Locust Grove, but yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Wait, do you like Salina people?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of friends from Salina, but they all wish they lived in Locust Grove. So that's how that is.
You like Salina wrestlers?
Yeah, I even like them too, but they all wish that they could make the team at Locust Grove, but sometimes they don't. You know
But
what I
don't
mean?
like this.
What's that?
Oh, did you actually know that don't like one of the wrestlers?
You don't?
Yeah, because one of them cheats.
He cheats. Oh, this is a scandal. What's happening with that?
I don't know. At other tournaments, he weighed 60 pounds, but he went it down, and then he weighed 55, so I have to wrestle him more often.
Really?
Yep.
So he lost weight for you to have to wrestle him?
Yep.
Man. Well, you're just still going to be at the same weight. What weight do you wrestle at?
Like 55.
And he weighs 60 pounds. He's wrestling at 55?
Yeah, he weighed 60 pounds at other tournaments, and then he just cheated and lost like 10 pounds.
Well, do we call that cheating, or do we call it working hard to get it? He had to lose 10 pounds. What's that?
We call it cheating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's a cheater.
Yeah, I tell you what, anybody that loses weight is a cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have called me a cheater, Hudson, because they're like, oh my gosh, how do you look so fit all the time? I'm like, just cheating. Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So, but I saw the picture, or I saw the video. Did you beat that kid pretty good? Let's just try to walk us through it real fast. When you won state the other day, did you beat that kid pretty good?
Yeah.
Was he crying?
Going about the match.
Oh, they got to know about the match. I was beating him at the first period, but the second period, it was going, but he pinned me, but it wasn't a pin.
It was almost a pin.
No, at Nova State.
Oh.
About the state tournament match.
Oh.
Yeah.
About those matches.
They get to know that, what easiest tournament it was?
Yeah.
State. State was the easiest tournament.
State was the easiest tournament?
Yep.
Were you just throwing those kids all over the mat?
Yep.
Were they crying?
Yep.
They're sissies, aren't they? I knew they were sissies. What about that kid that actually weighs 75 pounds, but he dropped to 55 to wrestle you? Is he a sissy?
No, he weighed 60.
Yeah, whatever, give or take. Are you going to beat that kid though? Pretty easy.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured you were. I'd sling them all over the mat. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, I'm going to kick his ass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a family show, and a 6-year-old's the one that blew the whole censored.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get bleeped out on that one, buddy.
We're maybe gonna. This may be the first cuss word we let go.
Yeah.
On this show. It's gonna be good. Yeah, that's what I do. Well, I'm excited. I tell you what, we haven't seen each other in a while, and it's soccer is fastly approaching, so I believe we'll probably see each other next. Well, if you tell me when that tournament is, when's your next tournament?
Probably next week, Friday.
Next week on Friday.
Friday and Saturday.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. You'll probably win that one too. I'm excited for you. Well, thank you for being on the show, Hudson. And before I get off here, I just got to know though, are you into anything else? Have you been hunting wasp or hornets, or what are you into right now?
I've been hunting for them all day.
You have been?
Yep.
Man, did you find any?
No.
Whatever. That's because they're scared of you, huh?
Probably, yep.
Yeah, I knew they were. Most of them are scared of me. They don't even, that's why. Remember that hornet nest that you kicked and everybody got stung? I kicked it and they went away from me.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I ate the hornet honey. Have you ever had a hornet honey?
Hornet honey?
Yeah, it's a rare treat. Like a rare find. Not everybody can get it. Only certain kind of hornets, the honey hornets. Have you heard of those?
No.
Yeah, they're real similar to bees. Some people say maybe are, but it doesn't. But they're honey hornets, and they say that the honey is grade A certified. Like you don't even have to pasteurize it because it's so already pasteurized.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the last time I hunted hornet?
I
went out in the creek and didn't even find any hornets. And I also got my foot stuck in the pond.
Oh yeah. Remember that one hornet that you did? What did you flipped his what did you do with that hornet?
I cut his nuts off.
That's right. Yeah, it's because I have got a hold of some hornets that had a pretty good set of twig and berries, and sometimes you got to flick them off. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, flick the nuts off.
Oh yeah, yeah. That mistake.
Make sure you get the nuts.
What's that?
Wait, what did you do with the nuts?
I just left them on the sidewalk because you never know who's looking for hornet nuts. So I just let them hang out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta just let your hornet. When you flick the hornet nuts off, sometimes you just gotta let them lay. So yeah. What did you do with yours?
Oh, I think I got wasp spray and sprayed one in the nuts.
Yeah, that's good. What did it do? But the ones
I
that
think it burned. It burned the nuts off.
Yeah, I bet that's. Oh yeah, oh it'll burn their nuts off, won't it? Yeah, I know all about it.
Make sure to use the fire.
Yeah, you don't set them on fire though, right? You don't do that.
Yeah, we can only set the nuts on fire.
Yeah, that's right. Well, but you got to make sure that it's not the honey hornets because those are the ones that they're already made. It's pasteurized honey. That's how it comes. But have you told your teachers this at school?
Oh no, I keep it a secret from you.
Wait, from me or from your teachers at school?
From you.
Okay, well.
For you.
He keeps it secret for me.
You.
Yeah. Because the teachers, they don't understand that anyway. They don't know anything about hornets like we do. I've been hunting hornets since I was your age. How old are you now, Hudson?
Like 6.5.
Yeah, he's 6.5. Like he's not even 6.
Yeah.
Like you're getting pretty old, I'd guess. Are you gonna start driving next year? Do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, Hudson. Are you guys eating dinner? Is it dinner time at your house?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll let.
A little bit is.
Wait. What are you just? Go ahead.
Did you actually know I have a goat cart?
Wait, you have a go-kart?
Yep.
Do you drive it fast?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's big.
Is it?
Big.
Yeah, I remember.
What?
I have a go-kart also, and I drive mine to town, and mine goes 248 miles an hour. How fast does yours go?
Like 250,000.
What? That's super fast. That's actually way faster than mine, but mine flies. What's that?
Oh, they just said that I can do donuts with it.
You do donuts with it?
Yep. And one time I rolled it and I crashed.
But you were okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I was holding on to the seatbelt. Not the seatbelt, the
Steering wheel?
I was holding, steering wheel.
Yeah. I remember the first time I did donuts real fast. I started doing donuts so fast that my go-kart actually flew off the ground because it was like a helicopter propeller because I was spinning so fast that I flew up in the air. Oh yeah. I've done that so many different times. So is yours that fast?
I think.
Yeah. I figured it probably is, to be honest.
I haven't drive it in a long time.
Why not?
Today's the day. Because I think today's the day.
Today's the day you go fire it back up?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. I haven't ridden mine in about 2 or 3 days, and I'm probably going to get in. I'm going to saddle that pony up here in a minute and get to cutting donuts out there in the Dollar General.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait. What color is yours?
Red. What about yours?
Red?
Yeah.
Mine's orange.
Well, mine is actually red on one part, and the rest of it is black and yellow like a hornet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've actually been in a magazine for mine.
Huh.
Yeah, Go-Kart
Does
Weekly.
that nuts?
What's that?
Does that nuts? Make sure you put the nuts on.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up again. That's why, because I flipped them off. I flicked them off, and then I put them in my rear view mirror of my go-kart, like the fuzzy dice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep doing that the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm going to for sure. Because it just lets all the other hornets know not to mess with that go-kart ever.
It probably looks like the giantest hornet you ever seen.
Yeah, that's. I was thinking that also. So, well, now what else are you, I know you got to get off to eat, but what else are you eating with the Brussels sprouts?
I think cowboy stew.
Who?
Cowboy stew.
What is cowboy stew?
Cowboy. Oh, it's good.
What's in it?
It's like sausage, beef.
Yeah, beef.
Veggies, potatoes.
Is somebody telling you to say this, or do you cook? You're on the side.
I just know. I just know.
Oh, well, okay. Well, if you help out, I guess. Do you marinate the meat? Do you marinate the meat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you did. So it's good. But who do you ever cook it, or does who does the cooking at your house? Your mom or dad?
Mom.
Mom does.
Dad.
Oh, they both do. Who cooks better?
Mommy.
Mommy does.
It's like same.
What kind of food does your dad cook? Like corn dogs?
He cooks pizza rolls and eggs. Steak.
Yeah. Yeah, all the real treats.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good though.
I know.
It's pizza rolls the favorite thing of his? Is that your favorite thing that he cooks?
Yeah.
How does he do it?
I don't even know how.
Yeah, I got a guess, but I don't know. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I always knew the first time I met your dad, I said, "Hey, what's your name?" He's like, "Oh, I'm Jared." I'm like, "Hey, I'm Lloyd." And I was like, "Are you a chef?" That's what I thought first time I met him, because he looks like Chef Boyardee. Have you remember that those cans?
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you like to eat?
What's my favorite thing to eat?
Yeah.
I usually drink protein shakes, because I'm after a hard workout, which is what I'm into, which is why I've won adult state tournament the other day. But usually I'm just trying to keep my body right, like working out. So I had protein shakes.
My dad said you're fibbing.
He said I'm fit. Your dad said that?
Yep.
Your dad
say something.
Yeah. Hey, can you do me a favor, Hudson? Can you tell your dad that he makes pizza rolls?
Hey Dad, you making pizza rolls?
Making Brussels sprouts.
Well, all right. Well, that sounds good. Hey, we'll make sure that you save me some cowboy stew. I guess I'll be over there in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Are you serious?
No, I won't be there today. Today's the Super Bowl. I gotta leave really early in the morning, so I won't be able to. But I'll try to make the tournament.
What are you going for?
What's that?
Are you going for the Chiefs?
I am going for the Chiefs. Yes, because Buffalo Bills, the number one team in the world, that's everybody's favorite. They didn't make it, but they're in the same division, so we're going for for the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
But the Eagles are going to win.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
The Eagles are going to win, but yes, I'm going for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My dad likes the Eagles.
Who are you going for?
I'm going for the Chiefs.
Yeah. See, your dad started liking the Eagles when they made it to the Super Bowl. That's called bandwagon jumping. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my dad is.
Yeah. Yeah. You never know. You never know about him, do you, Hudson?
He's also a hornet that he can cut his nuts off.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he don't know anything about cutting.
Make sure you bring your nut scissors that we can cut it off.
Lloyd keeps a good pair of nut scissors on him at all times.
Okay.
All right, Hudson. Well, let me get off here. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I was really excited when you won state. I was all fired up about it. And I will see you in the next couple weeks because even if I don't make the tournament, soccer's starting.
Okay.
Does that sound all right?
Wait.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, best friend, I'll talk to you later, okay?
Bye, best friend.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Well, how'd you feel about Hudson being a state champion?
Hudson was awesome.
Yeah.
I want to we got to get the camera on him for sure.
We couldn't make it work. Last week could have. I don't know the way it fell. I don't know how it fell, why we couldn't. But this week it's Super Bowl, and I'm like, I know that I can't go stand in front of him and all that. Yeah. We for sure got to get him on there because he's very intense, and as you just heard, he'll flick the nuts off of him. so there's that. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get in this. Let's call my buddy Javi. Let's see about this comedy special.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see what happens.
What up, Lloyd?
Yeah, is this Javi Luna?
Yes, this is the offices of Javi Luna. How you doing?
Good. What are you doing?
I'm just fixing to make some wings.
Well,
Sliders for the big game.
Yeah.
All content, copyright, trademark, NFL.
Who you going for?
I got a little bit of money on Kansas City, so I guess I'm going for them.
I'm going for Kansas City. I just feel like the Eagles are going to win. Side note, Javi, just so you know, I didn't pre-text you other than a text the other day. You're on. This is being recorded currently. This is Javi Luna, by the way. Got this comedy special coming out, and I'm also here with my buddy Leighton.
How's it going?
What's up, Leighton? How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's
good.
Yeah, things are good. I don't know if Leighton's good or not. He didn't say anything.
Oh yeah. I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to talk over both of y'all. I'm great.
It's all good, man. Y'all podcasting for the game, or what are y'all doing?
Not for the game. Well, this is just the weekly podcast that I do. But what I don't know. I don't know who texted who this last time. Maybe it was me. I said, "Oh yeah," I was asking who the old head was. That's what I asked. And so you're like, "Hey, let me get on the podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it this week." So I figured I'd call you.
Oh, appreciate it. Glad to be on. Long time listener, first time caller.
So when is this? When's this thing coming out? Because I know you. Look, I read your Facebook and it'll say random things about editing or whatever. But when's it actually coming out?
It's coming out March 10th, man.
March 10th.
March 10th is gonna be streaming on YouTube. We decided to go the YouTube route. So you don't gotta pay nothing to watch it. Just check it out, man. It's called Javi Luna, not for everybody.
Does that mean does the title say it all?
It's I explained it a little bit more in the actual special itself.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just that getting passed over for things in comedy throughout the career and realizing everyone wants you to be a certain way or look a certain way or act a certain way because that makes you the most marketable and the realization is now with the way that comedy's so niche, right? Everybody has their audience they can find, so it's this realization of the not everything's funny to everybody, right? But just because you don't find something funny doesn't mean it's not funny.
Yeah, just go ahead.
So it's just that's what that title came from. It's not for everybody. So if you don't like it, move on.
Yeah.
And if you do, great. You're welcome to stay. I got more coming.
I like that.
Yeah, Javi, I discovered that I'm not for everybody. Also, at the same moment that I'm telling you, I discovered I'm not for everybody, and I discovered that I was not a good comic. Because when I was at the Laugh Factory in Cleveland and I bombed for my first time ever, and I didn't know how to pull out of it, that's when I decided, I actually am not good at stand-up.
That's what I tell the New York guys. It's the experience, man. You got to know how to pull yourself out of it, how to stick in there. Bad sets are gonna happen. But you still gotta do the time, and you still gotta try to save it. Right. The worst thing you can do up there is give up.
Yeah, I didn't give up. I tried to switch gears, and I could hear the air conditioner, and I'm like, "Oh God, this is terrible."
It happens, man.
Yeah,
been there, done that.
Well, that's awesome.
I was just in Friday. I was in Dripping Springs, Texas. Because my career is on fire. I was performing for a planned community basically, rich tech yuppies that don't want to live in Austin.
Yeah.
They moved to the hill country, but they still want to go to Starbucks and Orange Theory. So they move out there and they built these houses where they don't actually have neighbors, but they host these like events for them. So I went out there, performed in their outdoor pavilion in 38-degree temps. They had some nice butane heaters out there or whatever, and it was great. But you kind of gotta have the material and the experience to kind of deal with a situation like that. It was a great show, but yeah, man. Well, I'm sorry, Cleveland. You said Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio.
Laugh Factory?
Yeah, in 2014 or 15, it was just.
I didn't even know Cleveland had a Laugh Factory, so I wouldn't be too offended by that.
It's not. It's not good.
Yeah, I thought Ohio was all funny bones. That's all I've ever done out there.
Did I make it up? Hang on. Let me tell you really fast. Here we go.
I mean, you might be right. It would make sense. I mean, Cleveland's a pretty big market. It would make sense they had a Laugh Factory.
Not to stall out here.
This is the Google portion of the show.
Well, this is actually shocking that we're fact checking something because we normally do not.
Yeah, I don't believe in it.
Why? That's so boring.
Yeah, I don't believe in it.
Why give accurate information? Then I feel like everyone's trying to do that.
Look, I'll yeah. There's one there, by the way.
Are there? Okay, cool. Well, so was it like an open mic or like you were doing like a show?
No, I opened for this I don't remember his name. He was an MTV VJ like back in the day, and so MTV VJ guy. So the host of the show, I think I just talked about this on the podcast the other day. The host of the show was a local radio host, and he started the things that he was saying borderlined like my set. Now he didn't know who I was. It's not like he stole on purpose, but he was saying things that like bordered my set, and so then I started to panic. I'm like, oh shoot, man, this is not going to be good, because it literally was going to look like whatever. Neither one of us stole it from the other one, but it was almost the same. And so I was like, oh crap, well this is going to suck. Well,
it sucks, right? When you're kind of stepping or like you said, bordering on each other's material, and then to go up there and feel like you're repeating it, and not to get too deep into it because I really don't give a but like that kind of like that Lopez mentality, right? That his original back years ago, it was known if you were Latino, you weren't going to open for him. And part of the reason, and it's a valid excuse, is so many Latinos kind of modeled themselves after him for a good decade after he hit. Like you couldn't deny that there was obvious influence from him.
Right.
So it was like, well, why would I want somebody to go up before me that kind of sounds like me, right? And that's a valid point, right, to make.
Well,
but then also as a headliner, I mean that it's your responsibility to have. You're not supposed to be a one-trick pony up there. Like even on Friday, a lot of my material comes from my being overweight, right? A good chunk of it. It's not all I do, but it is part of my show. The opener I took with me, very funny young comic out of Victoria, small town, another big guy. We have similar experiences, and he was nervous. He goes, man, I'll go do your jokes. My jokes are completely different. Even if we're still talking about being big, there's a responsibility if you're going to call yourself a headliner to be original, right? Which is why I call myself the original gordito. And sometimes people come at me and they say, oh, you're not the original. The Fluffy's the original. And I'm not saying I'm the first. I'm saying I'm the most original. If I'm doing fat jokes, I'm doing it different from the way everybody else is doing it.
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say about? Oh yeah, that's why they never let me on stage. A very small time, right? Like here's the thing. Like what's backstory for me and Javi? Javi was doing comedy before I was, but then I started when he was there, and he was still young in it. But it was obvious. It was obviously everybody where Javi was going to end up. Like that was a thing. Even though we were young doing it. But when those smaller shows though, I couldn't open for John Stringer because I moved all over the stage and so did he. And so eventually they nobody wanted that. It was like back to back.
Together,
Too
right?
much.
Too much of the same. Yeah, we only need one white guy jumping around.
Yeah. So, and that was it. I never really opened for the guy. That, and one time I had to cancel, and I think that probably burned out a little too. He wasn't happy about that. But I had a regular job. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about me. I'm excited for you though. But you said small time. You're at Dripping Springs, but for anybody that's listening out there, I mean, they don't know that you go to Vegas. You travel all over the country for comedy.
No, very lucky to be from a small town, and I do get to travel a lot. Yeah, I got to this past year. I got to open for Eddie Griffin at the Sahara Casino in Vegas by invite through him, and that was great. And I get to travel a lot with Chingo Bling and opening for him, and I've been on various other tours with a lot of comics with bigger names and more experience than me, and the special is just me kind of trying to transition from being the opening act, being the supporter, just writing for other comics to hey, this is my brand, this is what I do, and from I think back when we were working together, you would jump on our Vatos Locos show. I've been part of the whole ensemble. This is a group of comics, and just trying to transition to this is Javi Luna. This is what Javi Luna does, and if you like it, you're welcome. We got the podcast over here, we got the online content over here, the live shows are here. Come on out, and I don't care if it's 550 or 500 people. I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm the rocket.
Hey, you know what? I've told that story for so long that it flows off my tongue, just the way I just told you. And you're like, I didn't think the Laugh Factory was there. I was at the Funny Stop.
The Funny Stop.
Yes. The Funny Stop is where I was at, where I blew that deal.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with the Funny Stops. I wouldn't.
It's outside. It's
sweat it, man.
It's Cleveland. It's outside of Cleveland. It's not. Yeah, I was at the Funny Stop. And to this day, I'd have to look it up. If I went and found like all the MTV VJs, I'd be like, that guy. I think his name was Dave. I didn't think he was funny, to be honest. But I bombed and I got off stage and like a couple people were like, hey, good job. And it wasn't. It was terrible. Like, and I could hear the air conditioner. It wasn't a good job.
To shoot you bail, the joke that you said was actually hilarious. It just was not for them.
Javi knows what the joke. He
Yeah.
knows the joke. It's the how long would I have to, that joke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Javi? Yeah. Right. Yeah, but
it's a good joke.
Yeah, but it's a family show here.
Joke.
But what we don't know. And
is it? I'm sorry, I've been cut.
No. We
fine.
can beep that stuff. It's fine. But like,
Okay.
but I walked to the edge of the stage, and I realized for the masses to hear this, you're not going to hear it because this is not. But on this show, you're not going to hear the actual joke. But I walked to the corner of the stage, and there was these two 75-year-old guys. I was like, you two know what I'm talking about, and it was just dead silence. Like instantly, because I'm in Cleveland and they introduced me from Texas and I got an accent, they obviously know I'm not from Cleveland. So no, they thought I was not being nice, and it was an odd deal for me for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, you gotta have a sense of humor to go to a comedy show. I don't know what some people are thinking, man.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a funny move.
It was funny.
It's like like I very very rarely do I have anybody shout out anything at my shows, and I don't consider myself necessarily an edgy comic. I'm not on my P's and Q's all the time, for sure. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and when I see these comics with these videos that are like people are like shouting stuff out at them and getting in arguments with them, I'm like, what are y'all saying to like make these people like they came to a comedy show and are so pissed at you, like what like, because if you come to a comedy show and you don't like what the comic's saying, well, the response is don't laugh.
Yeah,
right. Don't laugh, and if the comic's worth a, they're going to pick up on that and they'll change the material. If you're not laughing, I'm gonna be like, okay, this isn't working. They don't want this dirty joke, or they don't want this. They're not jiving with this particular viewpoint, and I got to get the job done. I'm going to switch up to something else. Hey, you want jokes about my kids? I'll do that for 5 minutes, and see if that works, you know. But that's where that experience comes in. You gotta have the material and the tools and to make that switch up.
Well, sometimes in the crowd's defense, though, they don't know who's been brought to that event. You called one day and you said you were like, "Hey, Lloyd, you want to do the show? We don't have to." we don't have to get all into it, but you're like, hey, you want to do this show? Was it the Triangle, whatever that place was in Corpus?
The LGBTQ.
Yeah, you said
had added that. I don't think they had added the IA yet. I think it was LG. I think it was still LGBT when we did that club.
Yeah, well,
Well, I don't think they.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me. You just said, hey, you want to do the show? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And
well, in my defense, that's just a venue, right? It was the audience was ours, so it wasn't really like we were just using the building. You know?
Yeah, but you knew my set, Javi, and so I'm like, like I was a little nervous about it. And to be honest, I wouldn't say that I didn't bomb, but it wasn't good for about 10 minutes. And to be honest, you're like, but were you good enough to pull out that time? No, I wasn't good enough to pull out, but I hopped up on that. You remember how there was a pole off the side of the stage?
Yeah, I remember.
And
I remember, but I love a good LGBTQIA LMNOP audience, man, because they have a good sense of humor. Like they are sarcastic. You know, as long as it's not mean spirited, right? Like I do a joke about during the pandemic, you know, the whole toilet paper shortage that I bought a bidet.
Yeah.
And I had to take it back. And it wasn't because I didn't like the bidet, it's because I kind of liked it a little bit too much.
So, did you tell them?
Yeah, no, here's what I don't know if you've used the bidet, but it kind of tickles a little bit.
I've used a bidet, Javi, one of the most...
Okay, and I didn't like it because I liked it a little too much. Like,
yeah, no, I get your joke. What I'm telling you in real life, I was in Iowa. I was in Quad Cities, Iowa. There, Davenport, and at the hotel. I was staying at the AC Collection Hotel. I remember, like, because it's the first time I ever walked into a bathroom, and I had a control panel right next to the toilet, and I was looking. I was like, "What is this?" You know, I figured out what it was, but it took a second. Right. So I started pushing buttons and nothing was happening. And I've never messed with the bidet. Yeah. I know what they are, but I've never really messed with it. But
you started pushing buttons, and it started pushing your buttons.
well, I couldn't get
it tickles. It tickles. For the guys out there listening, like it tickled, and I giggled. And like a grown man shouldn't be giggling on the toilet. Like it's weird.
Javi, I didn't giggle because I couldn't turn it on. It wasn't working. So I had everything at full power because I'm like, what, you know, thinking like, is it just not coming out or whatever? And then whatever I did, I pushed the magic button. And because I had it full power, it blasted a stream up in me, you know, like it was up in me, the stream. And I was like, oh gosh. And I pushed up off the toilet and I was like kind of clenched. I'm like, no. And I couldn't, I couldn't turn it off, but I also couldn't jump off the toilet because I'm telling you, had I jumped off the toilet, that stream would have blasted 8 feet up on the wall. And
you had a high powered one. You had a,
it wasn't a trickle flow. I can tell you that.
You had a man's bidet. That's what you had. That was a bro day.
No, it was hooked up to a 500 horse hydroblast pump outside.
I had the sissy one.
Yeah. Well, I could see how maybe that would tickle. This was intense.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I say. Like I switched up, so now I got the poor man's bidet. I got the detachable shower head.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
The next best thing, you know, you get down there, power wash everything.
Yeah, that one blasted the walls of your colon. I'm talking about.
Yeah, hey, but I walk around confident all day.
That's good, and confidence is key. You know, when you're feeling good about yourself. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey man, when you know everything's pressure washed down there, you know, you feel good. You know.
Yeah, this is good.
Good. It's major key.
I just want you to know the reason that this episode's funny to me because right before I called you, I called a 6-year-old And so somebody's going to listen.
Probably had a much more mature conversation.
Well, he cursed too. To be fair, he cursed too. So you weren't the only one.
The 6-year-old.
Good,
the
good.
6-year-old. Yeah.
Good. The parental warning episode for the Life and Times podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he won state in wrestling, and he's real. And he's just 6, but he's a super tough kid. He's real intense. And he doesn't laugh, and like he's like, oh, he'll smile. He's not he's human, but he's real serious all the time though. And
I've always said there's not enough 6-year-olds that can choke people out. Like, we need more of that.
Oh, this kid does. And so he just wiped the floor with kids at the state tournament. He won state. So it was like, anyway, we're best friends. He calls me his best friend because we're best friends.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we do it. So I wanted to call him. I was just going to ask him questions, but I've heard him say that before when he starts talking about wrestling. Wrestling.
Is it wrestling or wrestling?
A lot of people here will call it wrestling, but it's
still wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling.
Y'all are on the wrestling border.
Yeah, we are. Anyway, so he'll always be like, "I'm gonna kick his ass." And so his dad tried to.
Does he have like a wrestling nickname yet?
Oh no, he'll have one soon. This kid just mows through people. He's like a Terminator, but so you came through here.
Where's he from? He's from like the Tulsa Terminator. That'd be good.
Yeah, he's right from around here. Have you watched the Tulsa King? I don't want to get into it. I'm just asking. Have you watched the Tulsa King?
No, I have not.
That's the stupidest show ever made. I've already talked about it on the podcast.
I tell people I watch. Like people are like, oh, watch this, watch that. I watch about 30 minutes to an hour of TV a day if I'm lucky. So
well, don't spend your time watching that.
My queue is ridiculously long. Like, and because of that, I only give things like 2 episodes. If it's not doesn't get my attention within that, I'm done. And now you can't recommend anything to me. Like years ago, someone told me I had to watch Peaky Blinders. You ever watch that crap?
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah. You love it?
You didn't watch it long enough.
And that's what everyone tell me. They're like, bro, someone told me like, you got to wait till like halfway through season 2. I was like, no, I don't. I'm not going to watch a season and a half of a show before it gets good.
Have you watched Game of Thrones?
No, neither. You want to know why? Because I know that everybody, like 80% of the people that watched it hated the ending. So why would I do that to myself?
Yep, same. I haven't watched it either.
That's because they're stupid, Javi. Everybody knows that. So my favorite place, I just get this in because it actually bothers me that Javi talks this way. But my favorite restaurant to go to is JL's Barbecue by far, and everybody knows it. If you live around here, it's everybody's favorite by far.
I don't believe no one likes that.
It's just pure stupidity.
Oh, he doesn't like it.
Oh, he don't. He's ridiculous.
There's no way. I don't care how bland a taste buds.
That's so dumb. Everybody loves it.
No, it's probably. I'm sure whoever owns it, nice guy, probably nice family, and you'll probably eat there out of some type of courtesy or tradition. But no, I don't care if you've had COVID 9 times. There's no way you could go eat that barbecue and tell me that it tastes good because it tastes like nothing.
That's stupid, Javi.
I don't know how you make flavorless barbecue, but they managed to do it.
And he talked like that the whole time. It's just anyway. And his name's Javi Luna, JL's. It's like it's meant for him.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. The place is great. And guess what? They now serve real brisket. Yeah.
Real brisket?
Yeah.
Is that on their sign now, serving real brisket?
No, it's not on the sign, but they never really had real brisket. I always got the sliced beef dinner, which is basically like roast beef. But now they have real brisket.
It's like when McDonald's or whatever started saying now with real beef. It's like, what were you serving before?
I actually, that's funny that you say that because that is exactly what I said when I saw those commercials. I'm like, what have we been eating?
Yeah.
I've ate there my whole life. What is it?
We've been eating McRib meat for years.
But you know it's not good though. Like,
I love the McRib though. I'm a McRib guy.
Yeah,
and I know it's not good.
So is the McRib?
Like, oh, you know that's not real meat. I'm like, I don't care.
Is the McRib better than the barbecue you had with Lloyd?
Yes.
You're so dumb. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It is. It is.
Well, I don't even know why you said it's the sauce that nothing tastes like it. There's no sauce that tastes like it. It's the best sauce ever. The baked beans is the greatest ever. And do you even remember the baked beans?
No,
Oh, God.
no. I'm from Texas. We don't do baked beans down here. Maybe I'll give it that. Maybe it's just not.
Yeah. Anyway, he talks that way, but I saw him. I saw the smile on his face when he started biting into it.
Yeah.
In Texas, it's pintos, ranch style, and baked beans is like they out of everything else.
Yeah, well, I got to be honest. I don't like South Texas barbecue. I don't like the sauce that tastes like tomato sauce.
Yeah, I don't
And
like
that's
tomato
fair.
based.
I don't get into the barbecue arguments very often. Like people are, South Carolina or Kansas City. So like, hey man, chances are you're gonna like whatever you grew up with, right? Like just as long as it,
if
whatever,
it's the greatest ever made.
Yeah, we sauce everything here. Okay, great. And Texas like the sauce, it's all about the meat and the smoke, and it's like I said, it's whatever you're used to, but it's gotta have a taste. and
JL's didn't have a taste for it.
He said that 8 times. I don't, Javi. We're going to edit this part out. Javi's talking real dumb right now.
I mean, you're not sponsored, are you?
No. I
Well,
wish they would.
we're definitely not getting one now.
You're not getting one now. That's what I do. I by the way, I should have told you that before I asked to be on your podcast. That I do rec sponsorships because I talk a lot of mess about. I believe that a lot of restaurants are overhyped. I hate when people are like, "Oh, this is amazing, this is great," and I go and it's mediocre at best, right?
Lloyd wrecks through sponsorships every other week, so you're fine.
Good for you. Because yeah, like I did it on another friend's podcast. He was working on sponsorship from Delia's Tamales, which is like this place that mass produces tamales through a sausage casing machine.
Yeah,
and their masa looks like baby poop. And I didn't know he was working on this sponsorship, and I go on his podcast and do about 10 minutes just roasting the hell out of this place. And
Javi came from Tortilla Factory royalty.
Really?
I am.
Yeah.
I sit on a throne of tortillas.
He had an Isuzu rodeo in high school, which, by the way, if you had that in high school, balling.
Yeah.
Isuzu rodeo. When it was right below right below the trooper.
If you had a rodeo back then, that was awesome. And he came from it.
I love my rodeo, man. In fact, I had a 94 rodeo all through high school, and then for my high school graduation, I got a 2002 rodeo, and I got a bumper sticker on it that says "Not my first rodeo."
Oh yeah, I like that. And the ladies have followed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good. That's super good. Well, I know when's the Super Bowl start?
5:30.
In a little bit. My wings have probably developed salmonella by now.
Yeah, well, let's get off here. I mean, thanks for being on here, but I realized I just looked at the time. I'm like, oh man, the Super Bowl's pretty close.
Yeah, but thanks for having me on, man. And I hope your listeners, check out the special. It's on my YouTube, Universal Comedy at youtube.com/Universal Comedy, or if you just search Javi Luna and YouTube, it'll my channel will come up. It's gonna be March 10th, available for streaming, and check it out. See if it's for you, man.
What's it called? One more time. What's it called?
It's called Javi Luna, Not for Everybody.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks, Javi. I appreciate you getting on here and telling us. I think that's pretty awesome. So I always support you, and I hope it's great.
Thanks for having me, brother. Y'all have a good Super Bowl Sunday, man.
All right,
you too.
All right, go Chefs, Eagles. Talk to you later.
All right, yeah, later. Bye.
Well, Javi, listen, first of all, Javi doesn't know anything about barbecue. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard that he says. Everybody knows that listens to me and knows me. JL's, I've been all over the country. I've been to fancy restaurants. I've been to $300 meal plates. Does that even make any sense? JL's barbecue is my favorite. I love the place.
He said the McRib was better.
He just does that. He's just doing it for attention. Javi just makes stuff up for attention. He should get on stage for a living.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He just, you know what I didn't even talk about with him? He's the worst driver I've ever rode with ever. Yeah, I wish I'd brought that up. First of all, his taste in barbecue sucks. Like obviously, because he doesn't nut jails is the best barbecue ever, and he's literally the worst driver I've ever been with. And he's not because he speeds or anything like that, and not even because he's unsafe actually on the highway. He's a hard breaker.
Oh man.
On the highway or at a stop sign. And like every time he hits the brakes, your head will snap forward because he don't know how to ease into it. He just like hits them. Like he don't even have there's a middle ground there, Javi. Yeah, not for Javi. He's like, I want these brakes on fire when I get there. Yeah, he does it every time. He's the worst driver ever. But I'm excited that he's glad at. I'm excited that he's. You know how many he's doing his thing, but you know how many times I have said Laugh Factory? I've said 100 times. That's not. It's the funniest thing. Yeah. Well, I guess.
The Laugh Factory kind of sounds cooler, so I think you should just keep saying it that way.
Yeah, and then for a second though, he's like, "Well, no, because Laugh Factory is like a very big deal."
Yeah.
Well, that stage didn't suck either, but that's a big deal in major cities, and that's a major. And like, so if you see Laugh Factory, you see the logo. Yep. I wasn't there. I didn't go there. Anyway, so and then he's like, "Who were you with?" I don't know. Because he was an MTV VJ. It's not like I've done lots of shows, and the people that I remember, the reason I remember them is because they were on TV.
Yeah.
Well, that guy was on TV, but I mean, like they're on TV. After I did the show with them, I would see them on TV, whether it was Netflix shows or HBO shows or TV shows, because I'm like, oh yeah, just the other day, Felipe Esparza, who I've opened for and been on the same show with Javi. Felipe Esparza, he was on a TV show the other day that I was watching. It was a series, and I'm like, hey, it's Felipe.
You didn't know beforehand, or you did?
Well, I don't know him. I opened for him, but it's not like we talk or anything. But he was on a TV show the other day. Like stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, because I still actively see him and I know him. The MTV VJ that hadn't been on TV since 1992, no, I don't remember his name. I have no idea. I don't remember everybody I've even opened for.
Yeah.
No, if they were just like I'm not mouthing that they were obviously headliners and I wasn't at the place I was under them, but I'm not even a headliner now, but because I don't do it anymore. But I don't remember everybody I've opened for. I have no idea everybody's name. So anyway, that's that. I probably will look the guy up because I just wasted 45 seconds explaining the MTV VJ guy to look his name. I think his name's Dave. I don't know. Dave sucked. He wasn't funny. Yeah, whatever.
He stole all Lloyd's content.
Get over yourself. No, Dave didn't. He didn't steal my content.
Sorry, Dave.
It was the radio show host.
Oh, the radio, not the VJ.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that was my first interaction with Javi, right?
Yeah.
And I thought he was funny, so I'll definitely watch that.
No,
that's special.
Javi's funny. Javi is funny. Javi's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent person. I think he dropped out of law school. Like he was there and then didn't want to do it. Javi's a very intelligent, and he's real he's like real into the craft.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
you could tell by some of the stuff he was saying.
Well, but he's real thoughtful in his jokes, like how he lays it out. He's just, people taught him the right way. Nobody taught me anything. Yeah. I just, would go blab it out as loud as I could do it. I don't write anything down. I was all proud of myself. Ultimately, I think you're worse for not doing that, but that's how I rolled. Anyway, well, love everybody. Thanks for listening. I mean, it's an hour. Let's jump off here. It's Super Bowl day.
It's Super Bowl time.
We got
food downstairs.
Super Bowl.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. Caw-caw. Caw-caw.
I gotta be honest. I'm going for the Chiefs, but I think the Eagles are probably going to win this.
I hope so.
To be honest. So, all right, love everybody. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Catch you next week. All right, love you.